Welcome back to the Pig Trail Show. Now joined by our Kevin McPherson to talk everything that there is to talk about basketball. Kevin, good to see you again on this Sunday. And let's just kind of start with recruiting really fast and talk about, the fact that you saw four guys who are offered by the Razorbacks square off on Friday night, and that's got to be some great basketball to watch.
It was Little Rock Central at Little Rock Christian. Central's got two players, 2023 Bryson Warren, 6'2" point guard. K. Honor Boateng, a 6'5" wing, a freshman, class of 2024. They both have Razorback offers. And then Little Rock Christian, class of 2022, Creed Williamson, the son of Big Nasty Corliss Williamson, a 6'8" forward, and also 2023 Layden Blocker, another 6'2" point guard. So, this was a great game. Central led throughout and going into the fourth quarter, but Little Rock Christian behind really Creed Williamson, 20 points, 11 rebounds. He scored 18 of those 20 points in the second half, was just dominant around the basket. But you look across the board, all four of these young men had really solid games. Layden Blocker, Williamson's teammate, finished with 23 points. He was 8 of 10 at the free throw line. He had 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a couple of steals and a block. So he kind of, stuffed that stat sheet. And then Bryson Warren, who I think maybe is the most smooth scorer in the mid-range and from the three-point line in the state for Central, game high 24 points. He was 11 of 23 from the field. And then K. Honor Boateng, 6'5", long wing. He's active, but he's not only quick, he is explosive. And he had 11 points, 4 rebounds, and a couple of blocks as he was 5 of 6 from the field. So all four of these young men showed well in what turned out to be a great high school game. Again, Little Rock Christian won in the end.
You gotta love that. Okay, the Hogs adding 2021 walk-on Lawson Blake. What exactly does that mean for his status? Is he a part of that team, the team in 2021 in that recruiting class, or is he going to come in January?
Yeah, he's part of the 2021 recruiting class. Okay. He's at Link Year Prep right now, and he was, he played at Fayetteville High School, so he was originally class of 2020. Now he's 21, but 6'10". That's what Arkansas is adding. And basically, that your walk-ons are bodies for practice. They're going to get opportunities to get in games. We see that from time to time. But the main thing, sometimes these guys, develop and they earn scholarships or they earn significant playing time. We've seen that. Manny Watkins was the last guy that did that. So, but you look at Lawson Blake, you can't coach 6'10". He's averaging 13 at 7 at Link Prep, so putting up some solid numbers in what'll be his final season before college, and he will walk on at Arkansas next season.
Well, that's great to see. Hey, you know what? We had an in-state showdown yesterday between UCA and Arkansas. And first off, just what a game for the state, for those two teams to be faced against each other for the first time in over 70 years.
Yeah, I mean, Arkansas hadn't scheduled an in-state opponent in 70 years. You had to go back to November 1950, and they played Arkansas Tech when the Hogs did. It was great. I think it was great. It's too bad because of COVID. There's, fan and attendance limitations. That place would have been packed. UCA would have had a contingent of fans in there, but still, it's a great opportunity. It was televised statewide or actually regionally on SEC Network. So, it was a great opportunity for Arkansas to finally take the veil down and play in-state games. I tip of the hat to the program for that. And look, UCA came in and gave Arkansas its money's worth. I mean, that was a competitive game, probably Arkansas's biggest test so far this season. 10-point lead in the first half for the Bears. They were down only 6, cut it to a 6-point deficit with about 10 minutes to go. So, competitive up until that point. Arkansas hit an extra gear and won by 25 points, 100-75, to move to 6-0, which is the best record, by the way, right now in the SEC.
Hey, what do you think? They're 6-0 right now about this Arkansas team. Do you feel like they need to be maybe tested a little bit more? Have you been surprised by a certain player right now? What are your thoughts?
Well, I do think Arkansas could have scheduled a little better. You look around the SEC, most of the programs in the league have scheduled a little stiffer competition in the non-conference. But by the same token, I think Arkansas at 6-0 with 2 more home games before they open up SEC play, by the way, on the road December 30th at Auburn. I think these next 2 games might give them a couple of maybe relatively decent tests. Oral Roberts comes in, and Arkansas's got an 8-day layoff next Sunday. Oral Roberts took Oklahoma State and Wichita State to the wire before losing those games. They've got a couple of wins. And then Arkansas on December 22nd, a couple of days later, is going to play Abilene Christian, a team that is 6-1. It's a mid-major, but they're 6-1. It'll be the first team Arkansas plays a non-con with a winning record. And their lone loss was by 7 points at Texas Tech, which has been one of the top basketball programs in the country under Chris Beard. So that's a team that might be a real test for Arkansas as it moves into conference play.
Hey, shout out to the Wildcats there in the Southland Conference, my old stopping grounds in Abilene, coming back to Bud Walton. They were here a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's right. And when I look at this Arkansas team, what I really see is a team that's been dominant rebounding. We didn't
Mhm.
expect that necessarily. We knew they were bigger, but the SEC's worst rebounding team last year. Last night against UCA though was the first time this season they came in plus 14.2 boards per game advantage. Last night they got out rebounded by two. It could be just a matchup thing, but Arkansas needs to remember what it is. And right now, I think rebounding and playing solid defense, finishing defensive possessions with a rebound. Connor Vanover's been the anchor inside. We all knew he was going to be an offensive threat, but really, what I've seen now through 6 games, he's probably contributed more to the success of this team on the defensive end when you look at rebounds, block shots, and altered shots. And then Moses Moody, you asked me about individual players. The freshman leads the team in scoring. He's been in double figure scoring every game, all 6 games of his career. But I think he's been a starter in every game. I think he's the best player on the team, but I also think the team plays better when he's on the floor.
Mhm.
And we talked about Vanover and Moody. If you look at the senior grad transfers in Jalen Tate and Justin Smith, they're so consistent at both ends. Last night, Justin Smith, double double, 17 points, 11 rebounds, shot the ball well, even and also from three, no turnovers, and he crossed the 1,000 point career mark. But when you look back, the bulk of that being at Northern Kentucky before he came to Arkansas. And then I thought JD Notae, 22 points. A lot of that came late. Most of it in the second half. I think 17 points got hot from three. He also crossed the 1,000 point career mark because he was at Jacksonville in the ASUN conference for 2 years before transferring, sitting out there. So Arkansas's got a lot of pieces. We've named some of those key guys. Desi Sills, of course, preseason SEC All Second Team, 17 points last night. Played a strong 4 game. I think he had 4 assists, 3 steals, 3 rebounds. That's what you want from Desi Sills. So Arkansas's got individual pieces. Once the competition steps up in league play, and Arkansas's in some really close battles all the way to the wire, which of those guys are going to step up? I think those are the things when you look at non-conference against the schedule that probably haven't been tested enough to know to get some of those answers a little earlier.
Yeah, Kevin, always love your insights. Great talking basketball with you. We always appreciate your time here every Sunday. We look forward to it next week. That is going to do it for us. The Pig Trail Show rolls on after this.